Hello friend, welcome back. In our all previous section, I have already discussed about that things with you, Laravel basic fundamental. Then you have learned Vuejs basic fundamental, and after that also there have the another section for the RESTful API fundamentals, right? So I expect you have complete every section. So now together all that experience, all that fundamental experience, we will create one of the total inventory management system project. Sound is great, right? So from to this session, we will create one total professional inventory management system with using that Laravel 7, Vuejs, and the RESTful API. So step by step from scratch, we will create this project. I think you are really excited to start coding, right? So if you are ready, then let's get started. So for start our project from to the scratch, first of all, I want to create one of the project. If you go to our drive, that is our C drive, I'm using that XAMPP. I have already discussed about that things with you. Make that sure you're running your Apache and the MySQL. Okay. So now our two of this is running. So now go to the XAMPP folder, into the XAMPP, that is our htdocs. And as I told you before, htdocs is the main root directory. Okay, so now here that is our project 5. So now I want to create another project, another Laravel project. So for the reasons I want to create one of the folder name as a pro, and I name it as a 6. Okay, that means the project 6. So that is our project 6. So into this folder, first of all, I want to install our Laravel 7. So if you want to install that Laravel 7, I think you already know about it. So first of all, you have to go to that Get Composer. Into the Get Composer, that is the download option. So right now I want to install it with using the Composer. So now I just simply copy that. So I just simply copy it from to the Composer. I want to install it. I want to install it in our this directory. That means in our local host, I have created one of the folder as a Pro 6. So now I just simply define as a CMD and I click on the enter. Now you can see that is actually the directory. So now here I want to first of all added our Composer. So just paste it, click on the enter. Now it will be created our Composer in particular that area. You can see it's now downloading. So make that sure you are connected with the internet, because it will be downloading all that file from to the internet. And after that, you can see automatically it's unlinked our Composer setup file. So now it's totally gone. So they have only one file as a composer.file. So now I want to install that Laravel. So if you want to install that Laravel, I think you already know about it. So go to that documentation. And into the Laravel, you can see that Laravel 7. So right now I'm using that Laravel 7. And here I have already discussed about that, all that requirements. So right now I'm using that local host. So if you go to that local host, so I have already checked our PHP version. If you go to that PHP info, now you can see right now I'm using that PHP version as a 7.3.7, right? So now it's perfect. That means here I fill up our requirements. And now I want to install that Laravel. So here, if you want to install it via the Composer and create the project, simply copy it. So I just simply copy it and now go to our terminal. Into the terminal here I just simply paste it, and now I want to create one of the project as a view. Okay, I just name it as a view inventory or inventory. Okay, I just name it as inventory. Okay, so now I want to create one of the project as inventory. So now if you click on the enter, so now it will be downloading all that file from to the internet, and automatically in particular that area it will be created one of the folder. Okay, it will be created one of the folder as our project name as inventory. So make that sure you are connected with the internet, because it will be downloading all that file from to the internet. And friend, it may take little time, better when it will be done, then I will come back again. Here you can see friend, our Laravel installation is successful. And also we have created one of the project name as inventory. So into this project, you can see that's all that file is accessing on here. And also I want to add our default authentication system. So if you want to install the default authentication system, you have to go to the security and the authentication. And into the authentication also there have some of the things we have to run, like there is a Composer required Laravel UI and PHP artisan UI view auth. Okay, so we have to run both of these. So right now that is our directory as a Pro 6. So right now I just cut it. So now we have to go inside our project directory. So that is our project directory as an inventory. So now I just run our CMD again. I just open our terminal. Okay, now you can see that is our inside that our project directory as inventory. So now I want to add two of this. So now I just simply copy it. So there is a composer required Laravel UI. So I just simply paste it and click on the enter. So now it's also downloading all that file that is already UI file from our internet, and make that sure you're connected to the internet, and it may also take little time. So you have to wait for it little bit. So also our UI package is generated successful, and after that what I want to do, there is a PHP artisan view auth. So I just simply copy it, and now I just simply add that part. So friend, into this project we will not using that Laravel default authentication system, because here I want to use that JWT token as I told you before in our RESTful API fundamentals. So I have already discussed about that things. Now we will work with the interface. Okay, so now I successfully also added that PHP auth. So here I install it, and also we have to add that npm install and the run npm run dev. Okay, so we have to also run two of these. So I will do the things later. Right now I want to run our application. Go to our inventory. Here I define as a CMD, and now I just simply define as a PHP artisan serve. Okay, I just simply define as a PHP artisan serve, and automatically our development server is ready. So now I just simply copy it, and now if you go to your project directory, and here if you paste it, yeah, you can see our Laravel installed successfully, and also we have installed Laravel default authentication system as a logging and the register. You can see there is a Laravel default authentication system, and here our CSS and the JSS is missing, so we have to also add that two of this. So I will do that things later. So right now after that I want to create one of the database for our project. So go to our local host and go to the phpMyAdmin. So that's all that fundamental that I have already discussed about that things with you, right? So now go to that database, and now I want to do for our project, I want to create one of the database, and I just name it as inventory. Okay, I just name it as inventory. So this type of one of the database I want to create, and now click on the create. So now you can see our database is successfully created. So now we have to do, first of all, that is our project, right? So I want to add this project in our Sublime text editor. So right now for this project I will use it. There is a Sublime text editor, and now our directory, that is the inventory directory, I want to add that things in our Sublime text editor. Okay, so I just simply add that things. So now if you go to our package, that means the package JSON, here you can see there is a Exo is automatically installed, the Bootstrap is installed, the jQuery is installed, and also Vue is installed. Perfect. And the Vue template compiler, so that is also installed. Everything is now perfectly installed already, and I have already discussed about that things with you. If you go to the resource, into the resource, there is a JS. You can see there is all that Vue.js, all that file. There is a app.js, and there is a component. So here we have to create some of the components for the Vue.js, because in Laravel what actually we did, in Laravel whatever the page you will create, we will create that things in our Vue area, right? But we will create this project with using the component. For the reasons, all that component we have to create in our that particular area. So don't worry, step by step everything will be very much clear to you. So right now we don't need this. So now first of all, here I want to go to our env file, and here we have to add our database, that the database I have created. So I have created one of the database as inventory. So I just simply copy that our database name, and here I just simply define that inventory. And also you have to put that your username. So by default in our local host I am using that root, and in our local host they have no password. For the reasons you can say, I just make the things as a blank. So friend, I think you already know about it, because in our fundamental I have already discussed about everything with you. So here I added our database. So now I just click on the save all, and also now I want to actually migrate it. So if you go to the database, when there is migration, by default they have the 3 table, right? So when you will migrate, automatically it will be created our user table, password reset table, and the fail job table. So it will be created. So before run or migrate, we have to also do one thing, like if you go to that app, and into the app there is our providers, and there is the app service providers, right? And into the app service providers, here we have to add 2 of this for adding our maximum length. So I have already discussed about that things with you before, so I think you already know about it. So if you go to the project 5, here that is our app, and if you go to that our providers, here I have did that work. You can see we have to add this one. So I just simply copy it, and now here I just simply paste it. Okay, so I just simply add that our schema, and also we have to define our schema default strength length. So that is a length we have to add in our boot. That means a boot method. So I just simply added the things in our boot method. Okay, rather than you will get some of the error. I think you already know about it. So I just simply define 2 of these. Make that sure you add 2 of these, rather than you will get that error. So perfect. I have already added our database, and also I update our app service providers. Perfect. So now I am ready to migrate. So now I want to migrate it. So here I want to define as a PHP artisan migrate. So I just simply define as a PHP artisan migrate and click on the enter. Now you can see all the table is successfully created. So now if you go to our database, and now if you click on the refresh, yes, you can see all that our table is migrated successfully. So friend, I think it's very much clear to you. So we successfully install our Laravel, and also we successfully installed that Laravel default authentication system. We have created one of the database. So that is our database as inventory, and also I migrate it. So all the table is by default added in our inventory table area. So perfect, we successfully install our Laravel. Okay, so we successfully install it. So in our next video, I want to discuss about how can install that npm, and also how can create, that means how can install that Laravel view route. So that is a view route also will be needed. Okay, so how can do that work step by step. In our next video, I will show you that things with a live example. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.